Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is my co-host, Nick Mullet. And so today we got a great show for you tonight. We're covering one of our modern favorites, and look who's finally back joining us.
Jill, you're back.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, it's great to have you back, Jill.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, how do I do StreamYard again? No, just kidding. It's been a while.
Okay, glad the link is good. So, here's our first here,
Tom?
Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. And so tonight we are covering one of the modern classics, and its 10th anniversary, and it's The Conjuring. And here, Tom, here,
I got
here.
I got him.
I'm sorry. I thought I sent the link already.
I got him. I'll get him. Leave it to me,
Okay.
John.
Okay, Tom, my apologies, man. I thought I sent you one. My bad. I guess it just didn't go through. I'll be more careful about that next time.
Hey, don't forget, he was probably doing an episode of This Is Tom's World while he was at it.
Could have been.
I still have to get my hat.
Yeah.
Tom's World.
Yeah. Did you send it through, Nick?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, excellent. All right, so Dom, you should be able to join us momentarily. Yeah, so tonight, this is the 10th anniversary. This film came out in July 2013, and this is the movie that when it hit theaters, everybody was talking about it, including my frat brothers, because I was in college at the time. It was the number one movie everybody had to see on the campus. Oh man,
What's up, Brad?
Yeah.
2013. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Oh man, 10 years, and this started several sequels and spin-offs such as the Annabelle series and the Nun. The second Nun movie coming out soon.
Just in a few days.
Oh yeah, this week. So because of that, I decided to take us back to where it all began. Yeah, I don't think so.
It came out.
I doubt that. Oh man. Yeah. So The Conjuring. This is the start of a series that focused on cases, based on the true cases of Ed and Lorraine Warren. Here, let me put their picture up.
Who I've also met. I've met. Well, not Ed, but I've only met Lorraine.
Yeah, I was about to say, I believe you met Lorraine Warren at least. Here.
Which both of whom who've passed since then.
Yep. Oh wait, that was
you got on the StreamYard page.
Here.
Where did you meet them at?
So at the time that I met Lorraine, this was back in 2009, and there's if you could try to full screen that, Don. But anyways, when I met Lorraine in 2009, that was of course obviously that was a few years after Ed passed away. So, I didn't get to have the opportunity to meeting him, but Lorraine, who made her only appearance at the Chicago Paranormal Conference, I was able to talk to her for a couple minutes, was really able to get some really interesting, valuable information from her. But also, because this was 2000. What's up, Nikki? Even though this was 2009, this was when they were still coming out with a lot of the iPhones, which, at that time it costed like a fortune to get one. So you couldn't just take a picture on your phone like we can now. So we might have gotten a picture at one point, but it was on one of those old-fashioned cell phones. So sadly, because no one uses them anymore and there's no way to transfer them, the photo has kind of been lost, sadly. What's up, Jeremy?
Jeremy, you remember Jill, right? Jeremy?
Not.
What?
It's not supposed to know.
Hi.
Oh, man. Oh, hey, DJ Evan. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, so...
stranger.
Jeremy. Yeah, so this movie focuses on the true case of the Perrin family haunting, and here we got another guest join us.
Oh wow, here I am finally.
Hey, Tom.
Nickel Tom.
Hey,
man, it's been a hell of a week. I'll tell you what.
Hey, Tom.
How you doing?
Tom.
Yeah. I about a week ago, I had a little accident at work, and I split my head open. I got 5 staples in the back of my head. I'm supposed to get removed tomorrow. But then 2 days ago, I found out, well, yesterday actually, I found out I have COVID too. So,
you do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, man.
It's been a never-ending bad luck sequence. Like last weekend, me and my goddess, we were away in Atlantic City. I lost $300.
Oh my god!
And then I come back and I split my head open, and then 3 days later I find out I have COVID. So those are my 3 things. So hopefully it's done.
You're just going one down. You're just going one hell of a road right now.
I know. Well, that's in addition to my mom having her COPD stuff and my sister having breast cancer. I mean, it's just been never ending. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, how are all you doing?
Doing okay.
Yeah, well, I used to play in Arkham City and all that stuff.
Arkham Knights.
What are you on now? Arkham what?
Arkham Knights, and I'm wrapping that up on this coming Thursday, and then moving on to Uncharted Drake's Fortune, because a lot of people have been wanting me to play that.
There you go.
What's up, Sarah?
Oh, Full House. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is a full house. We haven't had something like this.
All right, I'm Uncle Joey. Oh, look at me! I'm Uncle Joey.
Yeah, nice. My sisters loved that show growing up. But let's see. So tonight we are covering The Conjuring, released in 2013, and focuses on the true story of Ed and Lorraine's Warren's case with the parent-family haunting.
True story.
Yeah,
true
they did tweak. They did tweak some of the facts in this.
It's a true story in the same fact that Return of the Living Dead was based on a true story. And the only reason that was based on a true story was because they injected electricity into a dead body and it flopped, and then they made a whole movie based on that. So that's why this is a true story. But I'm sorry, this was not Ed and Lorraine's real story. No, I refuse to believe it.
It's to be honest with you, because I've seen it for myself. In fact, I think probably one of the best covers of the actual true story was that it was featured on an episode of Paranormal Witness where they interviewed the majority of the parent family, and you'll notice very quickly that the story, while there are some things that were kind of legitimate to the film, it's a very different story, and it as hell did not have a happy ending to it.
And it was not taking place in America either. It was in England, wasn't it?
No, that's The Conjuring 2. That was
that
in
too?
Enfield. That was in Enfield. The first one is in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Well, I mean, and in the beginning of the movie, they talked about Annabelle, and they showed the doll, which is far from the original. And the original doll, as we all know, was a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yep.
It was there. I mean, you could see it. You can go there to this day and see. Right, exactly.
Yep. So
they just made it look real scary for the movie factor, but
so this is the one for the movie, and this is the real one. It's the real Annabelle is actually a supposedly possessed a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah,
I did an episode of Annabelle on my show a couple months back, and surprisingly, for such a notorious story, it's a relatively short one. It's not that long of a story. I mean, like when I did an episode on Annabelle, it probably didn't even last for a full hour. It's a real short because it didn't last for very long.
I mean, she's still said to move within the glass case and stuff like that, and people have video footage of it being real. And so, do I believe it? No.
Well, Nick, I will say this, Nick. As far as like people, I've seen like internet searches saying how much the Annabelle doll will be worth, and I'm like, you guys, it's like you people would seriously want to have possession of that doll, would want it in your home. Well, I'll tell you right now, the closest thing I ever want for as far as having an Annabelle is this.
There are only 2 people that I know in the world that would want that Annabelle doll. One would be Kenny Biddle.
God, I knew you were going to bring him up.
The other one would be Dom Santasero. Outside of that, I don't think I know of anybody that would want that doll in their house. But the 2 of them, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They've been now moving Annabelle like in her glass case to Paracons and stuff. Like for the Warrens Paracon they have in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's where they have all their things. Like, I mean, they kind of briefly touch on that in the beginning of the movie. Where they're going through with, what is he, a cop or something like that in the beginning, and he's saying, so these are all things that you have from your investigations and stuff. And
Oh, it was a reporter.
It was
reporter.
a reporter.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an investigative journalist.
But I mean that's kind of the equivalency of Kenny Biddle at this point, really.
Tell that to Zach Bagans.
Oh God, don't even bring up Zach Bagans.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my
I
God,
don't
it's
understand
demons
I
and
don't
I'm possessed, and I feel so bad. No, let's not talk about Zach Bagans.
Well, Sarah makes a good point. Tony Sparrow, who's the Warrens' son-in-law, yeah, he's the one who's. See, it's funny. After when Ed and Lorraine passed away, it was originally their nephew John Zaffis who took over for a couple of years, and now it's kind of under the custody of Tony Sparrow, who I've actually spoken to a few times on Facebook. I'm good friends with him, actually.
Oh, really? Nice.
But there's another guy that has had
Jen?
that has had some contact with the Warrens too in his life. Chris DeCesare,
Yeah.
the ghost boy of Venecia, I think it is, but like however that's pronounced. He actually met Ed and Lorraine at some convention, and when he went up to the stage to meet him, Lorraine was like, "No, you need to go away right now," because if you don't know who Chris DeCesare is, look him up. He has had some strange experiences in his life, like through his college life and stuff like that, and even her, she was like, "No, you need to go away now," because he was very connected to some evil stuff, man.
And like as for this movie goes, there are some things that, as far as accuracy, this movie is questionable to say the least. As far as that, because I think they tweet some stories about as far as the evil spirit in this film, Bathsheba Sherman. I've done research on her and also research on the supposed relative that Lorraine in this movie said, Marytown Esty. There was some truth to that character. Marytown Esty was a witch who was hung in the Salem trials. That part was accurate.
And as far as Bathsheba goes, I mean, obviously she was a real person in life, but it sounded like to me, from what I've done with my research, was that she was never basically like a real witch as they portrayed her. And they also believe that in spite the supposed murder that she committed on her own child, from what I've heard, for the most part, that never really, even though she was suspected, but she never really was arrested and charged with murder on her own kid. So there's also kind of a lack of, in other words, even back in the 1800s, there was no evidence to support at all the least bit that she was ever responsible for this young infant's murder or any murder whatsoever.
And she probably never played hide and clap either. I'm just saying.
I imagine not. Yeah. Actually, it wasn't her that was playing hide and clap. It was a spirit of a victim named Rory, a little boy who was killed by his mother while his mother was being possessed by Bathsheba. Yeah, so that's the thing. Bathsheba was depicted in this as a sinister poltergeist who was basically continuing what she had been doing in life, was like killing children to heighten her status in the eyes of Satan. And she did this by possessing any mother who was like on the land that she originally owned, like this farmland that the parent family lives in now. She would possess the parent, kill the youngest child, and then make the woman kill herself. So, yeah.
Now that's not to say, however, although Bathsheba is portrayed obviously the wrong way, that doesn't mean in the real case that that the real parent family encountered true negative entities. It wasn't Bathsheba. There were some other entities in that house that were far worse than what Bathsheba was. And some of the things that the parent family, they still to this day refuse to talk about some things because it was so bad, so traumatic, and it even got to a physical level, like bad, really bad.
And one of the worst things about this movie, or like about watching the movie, is I can't help but think of Office Space the entire time I'm watching it. Because what's his name? Ron Livingston. Mm-hmm. That was the main character in Office Space, and he's like the dad in this movie. And every time I see him, even though he's got the longer hair, I just can't help but think of that dude from Office Space the entire time.
Oh, here. DJ Evans C says James Wan did a great job doing this movie, and that's a fact. Yes, he did. He did a great job with this movie because he had prior experience with horror films. He wrote and directed Saw, and he was a producer for the rest of them. And he also did Insidious, and let's see, and he frequently worked with the man with Patrick Wilson, who played Ed Warren in these movies. Like, hang on, one other role that I do know him from. Let me, in fact, let me share this picture here. Present.
While you're doing that, I'm going to say, I mean, it is a good movie. It's just that all the facts in this film are not accurate.
Here, we just
Inception.
There's another feature, Don, where you could just share it to the actual page. Like there's actually a button that you can
That's not
press
him.
to share it to the page.
Yeah, this is him. Patrick
That's
Wilson.
him?
Yep, he
That's
played
him.
a villain. Yep, he played a villain role in Aquaman. He played Or in that.
He looks weird, like his face is being pulled or something.
I know.
I'm pretty sure they tweaked it with digitally. Yes. So that's
Like
like
it's
one.
It's the hair.
The ponytail is pulled so hard that it's just pulling on his face.
Yeah, I know.
And,
Oh yes.
Looks like he's defaked. It's defaked.
but I have
He-
seen
he-
him in other
deep
movies,
faked.
though.
He-
Other
she-
than that,
Yeah, she means
Deep
deep faked. Yes.
yeah.
Patrick Wilson also was Stephen King in the tall. Oh yeah, in the Tall Grass. That's right. Yeah, he was in that. It was on Netflix. I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, he was in a ton of movies and shows
Oh, yeah.
over time.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying the one that stands out most for me, aside from the Conjuring movies, was when he was in Aquaman, that villain role. And speaking of cast, Vera Farmiga plays the role of Lorraine Warren.
Oh yeah,
And-
The House on Haunted Hill.
yeah, House on Haunted Hill, and also Nick. Here's one movie that you do need to see. Hang on,
Well, I know
I-
some. Well, while you're looking that up, I thought of something else that she's been in.
here.
Bates Hotel.
Yep, Bates Motel. I knew you were going to say that. Yep, I seen her in
Yep.
Bates
Yep.
Motel as well.
Oh, her. Oh, the
Yep,
one that
she
played
played-
Lorraine.
She played Kate in Orphan back in 2009, and that movie had a crazy plot twist that which alone made it worth seeing.
I thought you were talking about the chick that played the mom for a second. Like she was in The House on Haunted Hill.
Yep,
I think.
and she also played Norma Bates in Bates Motel.
Bates Motel.
Yes, and let's see. Oh yeah,
Norman.
Yes, and let's see. One of the younger actresses is also very familiar to me, named Joey King. Now, and speaking of which, I just saw a news update. I think she just got married. Yeah. So, and
Is it a chick named Joe?
yeah, Joey. Yes.
Oh, Sarah makes a good point here too. Let's not forget this too. Lorraine Warren herself makes a brief appearance in the film, shown in the college lecture as an Easter egg.
Really?
Oh.
You never saw it?
I don't
see-
recall that.
So during the lecture, like when Patrick Wilson is giving that speech, and as the camera pans over to the wife, there's an old woman sitting in front of her, like I think 2 rows in front. That's Lorraine Warren.
Wow, that must not have been that long before she passed.
It was, I think, what was it like? No, it was a couple years because Lorraine Warren passed away in 2019. She was
That's right.
91, I think.
And
Let's
Ed was a bit younger.
He was.
He died
15 years before or something like that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
died in
2006.
2006 at
Yeah.
the age of, I think it was 84.
Wow, I actually got the year right. I'm amazed. And that
Yeah.
was just like I just pulled that right out of my butt when I said 15 years.
So, yeah, I wanted to add this, make this real quick. Joey King, who I just, one of the youngest actresses in this. I've seen her in previously in this movie called Quarantine.
She'll
Yeah.
need some chocolate.
Chocolate
Yeah.
shake.
Yeah, she played Brianna in Quarantine, that somewhat decent remake of Wreck, one of my all-time favorite horror films. And then she was known for playing bit parts like this one, where she played Talia, a young Talia al Ghul in The Dark Knight Rises. And then
The Dark Knight Rises.
and then she played the voice
Wait,
of China Girl from with Oz Great and Powerful.
I don't have a
and-
cup.
And Nick, one of our least favorite horror films, Slender Man, where she played Ren.
Oh, yeah. And funny enough, my dad, when you mentioned one of the movies that she was in just 2 nights ago, my dad was watching The Dark Knight.
I don't
Rises.
have a cup, but I have a Cheez-It Baka.
I tell you,
Knight Rises.
And I correct myself on the deaths of Ed and Lorraine. Actually, Ed, he was 79 when he passed, and Lorraine was 92. So,
And Nick, I wanted to mention this real quick. Yeah, that movie Slender Man. Yeah, great movie to see in theaters, right?
Eh,
Oh, don't even remind me, Don.
Yeah, no. I'm going to tell you all right now, for the record, Slenderman was the worst horror film I ever saw in a theater, and I would have walked out of there if I wasn't there with friends.
It was
What
only
about
good
Midnight
just
Man?
because of the actor. It was
I
only
would have
good just
still
because
walked
of the
out of
actor.
there. I would have left my friends in there and walked out.
Hey, I'm an honorable man. I don't leave my friends behind. No, I leave no man behind.
What about Midnight Man?
Oh man. So I want to ask each one of you. When did you guys see The Conjuring in theaters when it came out, or did you wait until it came out on?
Yeah,
No, I did
I
not.
did.
I
Oh, you
watched
did?
it on cable.
Oh, yeah. I just
wish I did.
bought my own copy when it came out.
No, it wasn't. I was going to say, I thought you and I saw. No, it was someone else I went to go see at that time.
Oh, see, he's cheating on you.
Oh my god.
I saw the
Just
first
saying.
Conjuring in theater and the Nun, the first one in theater.
Ugh,
So
The
did
Nun.
we. Don,
The Nun-
Don, you were there for that one, I know.
I'm sorry, the Nun wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was decent at best.
I mean, I was not scared at all through the entire movie. Like this movie gave me a little bit more of a scare than the Nun did, and that's to say a lot because like movies have to have a lot to scare me.
Oh,
I mean, I've been watching horror movies my entire life. I mean, I can like before any of you were born, I actually saw the original Nightmare on Elm Street in theaters with my grandparents. And I had nightmares that entire night that Freddy was like coming out of the china closet at me and stuff like that. But this, I don't know. The Nun didn't do.
Oh, yeah. Annabelle's all right. At least the first one was all right.
Yeah.
The rest of them were a little bit better.
Well,
The third-
because I knew the original Annabelle was the Raggedy Ann doll. That
Yeah.
movie like kind of was like null and void for it. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
nah. You're
In
just
my
making
opinion,
it
I
look
think they-
scarier for
Oh.
that factor.
Oh,
In my
Leon.
opinion, I think the third Annabelle film in the trilogy was probably the best because it actually kind of gave like some origins. And there was actually some people like myself personally that really enjoyed the ending of the third Annabelle film. And some people actually thought that should have how the entire franchise, believe it or not, should have ended because it ended on a well note in a good way. But as far as the other ones, wasn't really too crazy on
I'll
them.
tell you what. The only way I would have liked the Annabelle films is if they paired her up with Chucky. That would have made it better.
Or
maybe
Megan.
Megan. Maybe.
Or Megan,
well,
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here, Leon, I wanted to address this. Leon should do an episode of focusing on Alien. Yes, I would love to do that because Alien is my all-time favorite horror film. I'm just trying to pick the right time for it. Yeah, but it will happen a little bit further down the road. I
Yeah,
promise.
not the Spaceballs parody where the guy comes out and goes, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby."
It was this, but it was the same actor though, John Hurt. That's the
Yeah, it
joke.
was. It most definitely was.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Clark.
Only he
Hey,
wasn't a
fuck.
robot. He wasn't an android in the Spaceballs thing.
No,
He was actually eating food and stuff like that.
right.
You know, one other thing I think that's also worth bringing up since we're talking about this, and I don't know if I've even told you guys this, Don, I don't even know if you know.
What?
You know, I've actually met at least a few of the parent family members, right?
Oh, did you?
I've met Andrea, who obviously is the one who speaks more about this than the rest of her family does. And I actually saw her earlier this year at I actually saw her at ParasiteCon in Ohio. So she knows me really well. And then I've also met her dad, Roger. So the stories that they've always been talking about, it's amazing how even half a century later,
Jill,
Andrea,
you're up.
she gets a most. Whoa, what's that, Nikki?
Gillette, she's like disappeared.
Oh, she'll be
I'm
back.
guessing she's having. I guess she's having issues with her Wi-Fi.
It'll be Sophie. Be back.
Oh, what? Now she did too.
Everybody's
Wait,
doing that.
should I do it too?
I'm just
No.
eating.
Okay. Hey, come on, man.
So, but no, the
here.
stories that they've often told, even half a century later, it's still very emotional for her to talk about. It's certainly a story you never really forgot.
Yeah.
You're meeting with her next week, Sarah?
Wow.
Is there just out of curiosity, is it a Paracon or some kind of event? I know she recently wrote a few books the true story behind it. Is it like some book signing, or I'm kind of curious how she's meeting her.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Next week is 10-year anniversary of the Conjuring movie. Actually, it's already passed, I believe, in
It's
July.
already passed.
Yeah, it came out in July.
Oh, it's the Ocean State Paracon. I've heard about that one. Yeah.
Oh, welcome back, Jill.
That's somewhere I think on the Ocean State Paracon. I've heard of that one before.
We missed you. We thought you just left us and just said the hell.
Nick, wanted to talk about what the most terrifying moments of the movie. Which one? So, Nick, what was the most terrifying moment of the movie for you?
It's kind of hard to say, honestly.
Just pick one.
See, it's damn.
I mean,
here, come back to me. Come back to me.
Okay. What about you, Jill?
I was joking. I said Annabelle. That creeped me out in the beginning.
Oh yeah, sure was creepy in the beginning.
But they kept inserting it throughout the movie.
That's what she was meant to do. She was meant to creep you out. That's why they made her look so creepy. I mean, but she was not. As I said, she was just a Raggedy Ann doll. I mean, it was.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they figured a Raggedy Ann doll wouldn't do it to scare audiences. They needed to create a scary as hell porcelain doll and just call it Annabelle.
I think it would have done better for the franchise if they would have just kept it true to life.
Would have been a lot more creepier.
Like if you'd have seen a Raggedy Ann doll moving, like you see some of the video footage of her in the glass case, and you just see the head moving slightly, the arm moving slightly. I mean, that creeps you out a lot more than these movies. Oh
yeah.
Well, I can tell you guys one thing. I mean, this definitely creeped me out, and it's not necessarily from the movie, but it seemed like there was some kind of connection to it. And Don, you've been through this area yourself, but a few years ago, we were driving. I think I was with someone else, but we were driving through a town called. No, we were.
I think I was with someone else, but you remember this, right?
No, I'm saying with another friend. Don wasn't part of this one. But we were driving in a town called, Don, you know what it is, in a town called Wilmette, which Wilmette, it's actually a very historic town area. They got a lot of these old historic Victorian houses, which I would not be the least bit surprised if some of them are haunted. But we were driving down one of the streets and it was getting dark. And as we're driving, we see one of these houses that's got one of those turret towers, if you will, the turret rooms. And I see something standing in the window. And I'm thinking to myself, at first, I thought it was just somebody just looking out the window because it was 6 o'clock in the evening or so. Yeah. And as we got closer, and this, I didn't even realize it until we got close enough. I looked up and I could see red hair. I could see a small figure. And the next thing I knew, it was a Raggedy Ann doll that was standing out in the window. I'm like, what? I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh my God, that's Annabelle right there. There's a Raggedy Ann doll in the window.
Oh my God.
So my friend at that time wasn't able to see it because he was driving, so I was the only one who saw it. That kind of freaked me out.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one part of the movie that would have scared me if they didn't put it in every single one of the previews would have been when the mom was there and then you saw the hands clap behind her. Now, if I had not seen that in the commercials, that probably would have got me. But because they put it in every one of the previews, I was waiting for it.
Oh yeah, DJ's talking about that too. Saying the hand clapping, where Carolyn gets lured into the basement and gets stuck down there, and has only matches in order to see. And the spirit of Rory was saying, "Hey, want to play hide and clap?"
Yep.
Had
that not have been in the previews, that would have got me. But it was in the previews, so I was expecting it from the first time I saw it. So,
hey, Bush.
Well, and the other thing too, I got to add too, as far as this Raggedy Ann doll that I saw in the window, this was also during the middle of summer, so this was not like a typical Halloween decoration. This was still June or July that I saw this thing. It was weird.
And another pretty disturbing at the beginning of the movie, like right when the parent family moves in and their dog Sadie just refuses to go inside. Sadie, I think it's like this collie dog, I think, and so
Like a
refuses to
mix.
come inside, and then they found the dog dead the next morning. So I'm guessing Bathsheba killed the dog because the dog was the only one that realized at that point that something evil was lurking inside that house. I mean, they did something very similar in as far as just getting rid of the family pet in Paranormal Activity 2 with Abby. Like the spirit, the evil spirit, the demon attacked the dog, and on that part, that actually disturbed me because I actually love German Shepherds.
Well, as far as I can tell you, Don, if you didn't know, I mean, as far as the dog dying in the movie, that once again didn't happen.
Oh yeah, and not to mention when
another Hollywood added thing.
Yeah, now that I think about it, like once you're halfway through the movie, you actually forget that the family even had a dog. Like it's introduced and then it goes away, like and forgotten. Now that you think about it, yeah, I know. It's like.
Sorry, guys.
It's like the movie doesn't really give. It's like the movie doesn't really give you that much time to really care about that much about the dog. It's like sure it was shocking when it happened, but then you really forget it like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, not even halfway, like a quarter of the way, really.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, about a quarter of the way myself.
Because then after that, it's when it starts getting more intense with the girl sleepwalking and this and that and blah blah, and then the whole thing in the basement.
Yeah, but Sarah makes a good point, like you just showed Don about that animals. Yeah, they're really sensitive, not just to the change, but also to the energy surrounding it because they're susceptible. They're able to see things. We see that all the time in a lot of these.
You see tons of videos of like dogs and cats like reacting to things that like aren't there.
That's very common.
That's not always the case. Some animals do adapt to new environments. Like I helped my aunt and uncle move into a new, much bigger house last year, and they have 2 dogs, Rigatoni and Cannoli. I know they have the best names.
Wait, are they Italian?
No,
I'm just saying.
Rigatoni.
No. Rigatoni is a golden retriever. Cannoli is a Cocker Spaniel mix, and both of them love me, especially Cannoli. Every time I go to their house, she's just like, "Oh my god, it's my favorite human. It's Don." But they adapted pretty well to the new setting, So they love it there. They love jumping in the pool.
It's me, Adonio.
I had Mario in my head too.
Yeah,
Mario.
Well, it's not only. Well, I mean, you make a good point, but you have to remember too when it comes to animals, like encountering, it's not necessarily just the setting that would change them. It's what's in the house that would get their attention and change everything. Yeah. That's why, once again, they're susceptible to certain types of energy around the house on these locations that, we ourselves are unable to see or hear on some occasions.
Yeah, much like Clark was saying here.
I think they kill the pets and animals because they're supposed to be our guardians, like cats especially. Well, if they're guarding your spirit while you sleep in the house, they're supposed to be a protector, so the spirits will attack them first because that's a threat.
Well, not only that, but they see on a different like visual level than we do because like they might be different color blinds and stuff like that, but like they can see things that we can't because they have more of like a nighttime vision than we do.
Yeah.
We were just discussing last week that some canines actually do have night vision. They can see in the dark much better than humans can.
Oh,
that's more like common with wolves than anything else.
Yeah, exactly. It results back to the wolf pack thing.
Right.
Which all dogs come from, really.
Yep.
When it comes down to it.
Here. Dogs. Oh, that's right.
Red light demons. What the hell is that?
Red light.
You really want to know?
Not sure.
Do I really want to know?
The red face demon.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Oh man, and I like how the Warrens, they just take a very their whole investigative approach in this is where what happened, Nikki?
I'm good. I'm good. You know me. I just disappear.
Girl, I don't know if I want to know that link about red light demons.
Oh, Jesus.
But isn't this the movie that started all the movies with the Warrens? This was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Red face?
Yeah.
This was the
Although
first
that's
one.
not
And
to say, that's not to say, though, however, there, like if you look at other older films like Amityville, for example, even though, of course, it doesn't have the Warrens in it,
No, it doesn't.
that was based on one of their
Yeah,
cases.
they definitely were involved in that, but they weren't in the movie.
No.
But this was like the first movie that actually had them like involved with it. So
right, like this movie really does have like an Amityville horror kind of a vibe to it.
Well, and also let's not forget they mentioned about it. They mentioned about the very end, too.
Yeah.
Only they don't have like a leading role that has like a really big beard.
So, well, here's the thing, and some people have been asking, if they're going to be making more Conjuring movies, why are they not including Amityville in this case? Though it was featured in the opening of the second. Well, although it was featured in the opening of the second one, they said the reason why is simply because there have been so many Amityville movies made over the years. As a matter of fact,
what's his name? What's his name? Did one? Deadpool.
Oh,
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
He was in one of them, and that was actually a really good rendition of it. To be honest,
I did like that one.
It was a remake. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually really, really good. I actually enjoyed that one.
I mean, again, the story's not accurate. The story's not accurate.
I
but
love
it's
Ryan
good.
Reynolds. No gay. I swear to God, but I love Ryan Reynolds. He is awesome.
I have always said when he was in this film, this was Ryan Reynolds before he became Ryan Reynolds.
That was
before
he became Deadpool.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This was Ryan Reynolds before Ryan Reynolds. But in addition, I mean, I got all these like movies that were made.
In all fairness, Green Lantern was Ryan Reynolds before he became Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah,
Sarah,
he hates it.
I got it right here.
Sarah, the original version. That's the one with Mario Kidder, and also with Josh Brolin's dad.
Yes.
The point I'm
hell is his name?
The point I'm saying basically about these films is that there have been so many of these movies so many of the story. I mean, so many movies of this case have been made that they said this is the only case. What's that? Yeah, they said that's the only case they're going to be. That's the only case they're avoiding because if they make a Conjuring film with Amityville, they're just simply basically making another Amityville movie. And most importantly, they just thought if we were to make something like this, we might as well just add it to the Amityville franchise. It would not be considered a Conjuring movie whatsoever.
That's right. Yeah, and we already got tons and tons of Amityville horror movies. Now we got
these too.
Yeah, now everybody's ripping them
video ones.
Oh,
VHS, Amityville 1992.
I remember that one.
Amityville New Generation, which the cover is actually covered by a little Ouija board, which was kind of a cool bonus. Yeah, and then, of course, undoubtedly, Amityville Dollhouse.
Oh, that one was a joke.
It was a joke, but it was better than those lame, low-budget films that have been made over the last couple years.
There was another movie that had a Ouija board on the cover of it that had Tawny Katane in it. Oh man, what the hell was that called?
Oh no, I was thinking Witchboard, but
yeah.
Witchboard. Yeah.
That was an awesome movie, man. I'm sorry, like as far as 80s Ouija board movie, that was awesome. Yeah.
These are the only other two Amityville films I got. This is Amityville: The Awakening that was released back in 2017, which is, even though it's not true, it's a legitimate film actually focusing on the house. And then this one is The Amityville Murders, which came out a few years ago. This is a legitimate story where they actually focus on the murders. It's kind of like a remake of Amityville 2: The Possession.
And the original house is demolished, right?
No, it's still standing.
No,
really?
It's still there. Yeah.
I thought the original house was demolished.
No, what they did was...
You know what? We should all meet up there and hang out for a weekend.
Well, the problem
is...
Boathouse? The farmhouse?
The boathouse? Is it there still?
Yeah, it's still there. It's like a 300-year-old farmhouse.
I mean, how much of a FearFans podcast, I mean, come on. If we all hung out there for the night and just did a live feed throughout the night.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
But to answer your question, no, they never did. They never did demolish the house. What they did, however, with it though, was they remodeled it, because obviously with Amityville, the one thing that was always noticeable about that house was those half moon eye-shaped windows.
Yes,
that's what made it so notorious. So in order to basically,
but it was the same with all the houses in that area. That like a lot of them were the same.
Yeah, a lot of them were, but this was the one that got the most attention. So in order to try to basically cut down on all these crowds that nobody in this neighborhood wanted, they repainted the house. They took the eye windows out. They replaced them with regular ones. Of course, that didn't fully stop everybody from coming out, but it's now a different appearance.
Oh yeah.
The house is up for sale.
See,
So-
all the more reason
Okay.
we should all meet up, rent the house for the weekend,
I think
and
it's
just
for
stay
sale.
there and do random
Maybe.
live feeds while we're there.
Yeah. Do the Fear Fans podcast of Amityville Horror, the original. while we're
Exactly
in there.
my point.
Yeah.
We could all do that. I mean, why
And
not?
film a horror film there too at the same time,
Yep.
saying it's
An
real.
actual legitimate Amityville film.
And then every one of us could like film our video feeds for our individual YouTube channels and stuff. You know, this is Tom's World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Nice.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Great idea.
Good idea. If we can make it
They're
work.
trampling over the bodega.
Maybe we'll-
Tourists keep transpling the begonias.
Nice.
Hey, what's up, Kate? Kate's in the house.
Oh, Kate. Hey, good to see you.
Well,
Thank
hi,
you so much for
Kate.
watching.
I don't know you, but hi.
Kate, she's she actually lives in our area, but she's a new viewer and supporter of the network, as well as a few
Cool.
of the others
Nice.
I'm a part of. She's really awesome.
Oh yeah, and I just gotta say, one scene that I do love in The Conjuring is like the whole investigative approach that Ed and Lorraine take. Like when they first they'll go over like the audio footage, and they took the interview at the house, and they discovered that Carolyn's audio was cut out. And let's see, then they went over some of the facts that they discovered about Bathsheba, about her history, about how she met a man, had a baby, and then sacrificed that baby to Satan, and then she went out and hung herself, and it happened right at 3:07 a.m., which is the time that all the clocks in the house stop. Every morning, the clocks stop at 3:07 a.m. That explains that.
And that
And
tree
also-
is still there, right?
Yeah, and if you listen carefully throughout the movie, there is a little bit of creaking noise, which is a reference to her hanging. So that noise indicates that she's her spirit is close by.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, I've seen a ton of videos that like people go out to this location, like to the filming location. Now, is it the original location? We don't know. We don't know for sure, you know what I mean? But it was the filming location for the movie. And I've seen people go out to it and they film the tree and all this other stuff. Has anybody had any evidence? No.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Nick.
Since we were talking about, I thought I'd change it, and I've actually used this previously for my show Nick Files when I did the Amityville case, which is still to this day regarded because a lot of people really liked how I covered it. It's regarded as one of the best episodes. It was a 3-part episode that I covered Amityville, because what I actually did with the Amityville case was that I basically told the story as how it was told in the book and the film at first, like supposedly all of the paranormal activity that went on. Then, well, no, wait, let me take that back. No, I started off with the DeFeo family, talked about them. Part 2 was talking about the Lutz family. And then part 3 was to basically, kind of cut to the chase and, tell what really happened in that house. Like, what were the facts? What was not true? So it was definitely it was really well received. So I'm definitely glad
If you're going to change yours, I'm going to change mine. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you
This
go.
is
There you
Tom's
go.
World.
Sweet. And and also I just like how they give Ed and Lorraine give certain explanations as to the things that were happening inside the house. There was not just the cold chills, but also the terrible smell that was flowing through the house, like someone had died. Like the rancid smell was apparently a sign of a demonic presence, and also there was knocking 3 times, knocking 3 times in a row at nights, and which is supposed to be an insult to the whole Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But yeah, speaking of Holy Trinity, Nick, I actually am wearing what?
Hold on a second. Mabel's downstairs. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, that dog.
Oh,
But yeah, I actually am technically wearing three crosses, because of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I got this cross here that I wear around my neck, and 2 crosses that are on my ring.
Nice.
Yep. And on this are Bible quotes saying, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be strong and courageous." That's what it says on the ring. Oh, and it spins. And we just lost Nikki.
all right.
Whenever I watch one of these horror movies with possessions or anything like that, I wear my cross and I actually hold it sometimes when it touches too close to feeling real, the idea of it.
Man.
Because I think that's what's more scary versus slasher films is possessions or anything demonic or anything like that, because that's this really unknown territory that you don't want to mess with, whether you believe in it or not. It's it doesn't care if you believe in it.
No. Oh man. That's Tom.
I'm Pickle Rick.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick. I'm Pickle Rick.
Nice.
Oh my God, you got the Pickle Rick background. Okay, hang on a second. I need to zoom in on that at least once.
Hey, Morty, I'm Pickle Rick. Oh, Rick, I don't know what to do. Hey, listen, Morty, you don't got to be such a little. I'm not gonna curse.
It's okay.
Still one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Always.
how can it not?
Damn it, Morty! You know what? Sorry.
A lot of
I
horror
got
films are
to
based
get
on
my
prison.
Rick Sanchez in on every episode.
I got you.
Yeah, you have to, that's like a requirement.
Yeah, right. And I don't know, Rick. Oh,
I don't want to do something now.
Wait, what?
All right.
Not sure what he means by that. But
don't know.
okay.
I don't know, Rick.
Eat pickles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, there's also the very sensitive issue as far as when working against demons. This film also explores Nick.
He just says, just ignore me.
Okay. Yeah, this film also focuses on the issue of demonic possession and also exorcism, which we have seen. There are a lot of true cases of people performing exorcisms, and it can be a very dangerous task.
I know, I've witnessed it, and it's not pretty.
Oh yeah, because like they even say in the movie, which is a true fact, that an exorcism is not it's not that simple to have done, because not only do you need an expert in that, but also you need authorization from the highest authority, which is the Vatican.
And that's basically the guys that I was with did not do. We were only supposed to be going in for just to sage the house. That's it. We were not supposed to be doing an exorcism whatsoever, because even I knew when they started performing this, I knew that this was not right at all. I honestly, really, to this day, should have stopped them before they proceeded with that. I should have told them, guys,
So
I would have told them, guys, I was like, guys, we got to stop. We're not authorized to do this. I'm not trying to basically say we got to abandon this, and not saying that at all. It's just, we can't be performing this stuff. We're not even trained for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also, too, one other thing that's certainly important to bring up is that when someone does perform an exorcism on someone, some of you guys have already heard me say this before in other shows, but when an exorcism is performed, it's extremely painful for the person who's possessed, or even worse, it can actually be fatal. So, and the exorcism that I witnessed, which was on this kid who was probably about 20 years old, I think basically knowing that his life was at risk, I think that actually scared me more than the actual exorcism and possession itself, because I came to that realization that if he didn't survive by the end of this wouldn't just be on us. This would go for the family too. We all could have ended up getting arrested and go to prison for murder because it's such a controversial, ritual to perform. So, and that you see that a lot on several cases with murder trials. Yeah. So, yeah, I was worried that we could have ended up going to prison for murder.
So, Nick, you're confessing on here that you're an accessory to an unauthorized exorcism.
I've already talked about it on other shows before. This is not the first.
Okay.
I just not, and no, I'm not an accessory. I was only a witness to it. I did not actually take part in it.
Okay.
I'm trying to make things clear.
Mm-hmm.
As well. Oh yeah, that's right. They're in danger as well when they're involved in an exorcism. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. Here, it's a deliverance. Exorcism requires permission from the bishop. Yes.
Yeah.
From straight from the Vatican. Yes, that's true.
Those are all titles of horror films too. The Deliverance, The Exorcist.
Watch out for that dueling banjo music if you hear it.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds. Yeah, Burt Reynolds.
Did you guys see The Pope's Exorcist yet?
I'm going to. I think it just came on a stream service. I got to look for it. Yeah,
I think Netflix.
Sarah's like, she hears that all the time in the South.
Well, I went to school in Kentucky, and I may have heard it once or twice.
No, you got to be further down deep South to hear that.
I think it's on Netflix. I think you're right. I think someone did mention that it was going to be on Netflix. Oh,
Thomas lost his connection.
Oh, damn.
He froze.
What do you got there, Nikki?
Oh, Nikki, your mic's off.
Your mic is mute.
It's her haunted doll.
Sorry, even this thing bloody scares the shit out of me. My daughter's little.
Me too. The dolls that move, like their eyes when you lay it down and open, I'm like, take that doll away from me. I don't like that.
Jeremy, are you still on?
Wow.
You might have Nikki might have a new doll buddy for Lucy.
Oh God. Oh man, I would hate to go to that. What? Oh God.
What?
Moving eyes.
No, Sarah, that's not going to happen. No,
I don't like moving eyes.
That doll looked like Peter Falk.
Yeah, no.
Like, pardon me, I just got to ask you one more question. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Oh,
like Columbo.
Jeremy's still here.
Sorry, I ducked out for a second.
Jeremy, did you see the doll yet, or I don't know if he hasn't? Show the doll again on camera if you're able to, Nikki.
She already threw it.
I'm telling you, it looks like Peter Falk. Like, pardon me, I just got one more question. I'm just saying, I don't want to bother you.
Oh man.
Jesus. All right, now let me. I'll zoom in on this one.
Oh yeah,
It's
like
kind of cute.
Yeah, no.
Sarah's like, need to send it to the island of the dolls in Mexico.
oh, I was just going to talk about that.
Wasn't there a movie that was recently made on Island of the Dolls, or was there a documentary or something?
I'm not sure.
Well, this guy's worse.
And Ghost Adventures went there too.
Wait. Oh my God.
That's the one that looks like
with the eyes.
That's the one that looks like Peter Falk.
Oh, that is
pardon me. I just got to ask you one more question. I'm just saying, I don't want to bother you too much. I'm just saying.
Like I said, this is the closest thing I ever want to having a doll inside my home.
That looks like the tiki doll from the Brady Bunch thing when they were in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, this is from a company called Geek Tikis, where they make these cups out of like all these pop culture figures, and this was a gift. I didn't actually buy this.
Now, granted, I made that reference to the Brady Bunch thing, and I'm the only one that probably remembers that episode.
I
because
saw
none
it.
of you are. Oh yeah. Okay.
I saw it when I was really
I'm
young.
not that old.
Well, Jarrett, Don, be ready for this. Lucy's next picture will be with you. You better be ready for it. And I know Lucy, and wait. Jeremy, I haven't gotten a picture with Lucy yet. What the hell?
No. No.
You have to babysit Lucy.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah, no.
man.
Oh,
So,
maybe I did. He said apparently
Yeah.
I did. I guess I just didn't remember.
So Nick, you were saying earlier that the true story of the parent family investigation from the Warrens ended badly. Why don't you explain about that?
Okay. So obviously, I mean, I know some of you guys know already, some of you guys don't know, but it's unlike in let me start off with this. Unlike in the film to begin with, where like the wife of the parent family went to the speaker that the Warrens were having, that never actually happened. The Warrens basically randomly showed up at their house one day after one of the neighbors kind of witnessed some of the activity.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, it was just so random. They were not expecting anybody, and they keeping it real short because obviously the actual story is a lot longer. But they did do an exorcism. At first, it started off as a séance, and the mother one point supposedly did get possessed, not exactly in the same way like you see in the film,
right?
But this exorcism that they went through was, for the most part, kind of more of a failure than a success, because she actually almost died as a result of the exorcism. And it was reported, in fact, that Roger, her husband, some websites say this, others say doesn't say that, he actually apparently punched Ed Warren because they thought they killed his wife, and he threw everybody out of the house. And it was fortunately she was revived, but she was never the same again. And also too, again, you kind of really have to watch the not only just the show that I did on the presentation I've done on the real case, but you also got to watch the Paranormal Witness episode on the real case as well, because it turned out, and I never knew this until I watched until I saw the episode, that apparently they actually filmed the entire event. In spite of that, because I know some people are probably going to ask, where can we find this footage? Is there any place we can find it? Unfortunately, no copy of the footage is known to exist, or if really just the only copy that was ever made, because it was said that the footage was destroyed during the seance / brutal exorcism. So no copy of it, no surviving images of this footage exists anymore. So it was destroyed as quickly as it was filmed.
My God.
So it's like a lost film, but sometimes if you kind of think about it, it's probably best that film is destroyed, because who would really, I mean, if it was really that brutal, who dare would want to see something like that?
I know. My God.
Yep, yeah, Carl. Now, what Jeremy's talking about, and what Sarah, we've actually interviewed one of the investigators, Carl L. Johnson, who, he was just a teenager at that time, and we've interviewed him on a previous show. And Jeremy, we got to get Carl back on at some point as a guest. We're overdue, but his account of what he talks about is just, I don't even know really what to say. And he's still doing investigations. He's been doing this for now over 50, if not even 50 plus years. And Jeremy makes a good point, saying that Carl was going to be portrayed in the movie, but it wasn't going to be in a positive light. But yeah, Don, if given the chance, if we have Carl L. Johnson on Supernatural Talk, that is an episode you definitely have to watch live, because you're going to know a lot more truth to the real case, because he really knows a lot.
For sure. Yeah. Horror. Amityville Horror. Oh yeah, definitely. Shaun of the Dead, probably. Alien for sure. Dawn of the Dead.
That's a legendary film.
Yeah, my all-time favorite zombie movie, Dawn of the Dead. Yeah. Oh, here. Don, show me.
No, I did see it, Jeremy. I did remember when I showed it, and I did recall that. And yeah, I did get a picture. I just forgot about it. And yes, Sarah makes a good point that Carl does do a podcast. I don't remember it being called Panoramic Perspectives. It was before it was called Demonic Duo. Haven't really seen him do the show lately. I would have been notified about it, but yeah, he has he has a show of his own along with
on Things.
No, not on Things Network. It was well, we actually did offer him of coming on to the network, but I think because again of their schedule and because we have a show that's running around that time, we weren't able to get him on.
So
he's not with James Anito anymore, really.
That's not the same Carl that's on Things.
No, that's Carl Albertson. No, I'm talking about Carl L. Johnson.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. See, that's his Facebook right there.
Oh,
I was about to zoom in for it.
That looks like a coin.
I know what that face does.
It does look like a coin.
Like a half cent from like the 1800s or something.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. But I gotta say, like, even though the ending of this movie isn't entirely accurate, but it was very shocking to see.
I mean, it was just again, I'm kind of in cross between the real case and the film. I mean, it's just really kind of hard to say. I mean, it was definitely a good film. It was just that I think even the Parent family have pretty much said for the most part that they would have wanted to see more of the true aspects of it than what was portrayed in the Conjuring film.
I am just now seeing your name.
Oh my God. Did you change? God damn it, Don.
He did.
No, he didn't. He didn't have control over it. It's only you and me.
I did not change it.
I just now noticed it says Pickle Niggle. It was not me.
He's not under our account.
I mean,
I can't.
It's like I didn't even know like I don't even know how to control like the part to change the name here. Like it's like I hardly know half of the streamer's controls, and I'm still learning. You really think I would want to mess with it while we're on a live show?
You're the only one who can control it. He
It was Annabelle.
I just happened to notice it when I looked. I'm like, wait, Pickle Nickel.
Hey, you know who else might have control? Jeremy.
That's very true. That's very
well.
true.
Wait a minute. I would have seen him on the bottom here.
Well, he's been commenting.
Oh, and you know what? Sarah makes. How can I even forget this? You mentioned Sarah makes a real good point of something too. Carl L. Johnson was also on Mike Ricksecker's documentary, The Shadow Dimension, which me and Tom McNicholas were also a part of. So even I forgot. We were in a documentary series with them, but in separate episodes.
Yeah, not this time.
Not this time, sadly.
This is Tom Valley.
And when I said ignore, that explains why. Damn it!
Oh man. Good God.
Clark.
Yeah. Oh man.
See, it wasn't me. I just happened to notice it. I'm like, wait, Pickle Nickel.
Yeah. One aspect of this film that I know is definitely made up is where Bathsheba creates like this image of Ed and Lorraine's daughter in a river, like coming up with a warning saying that they should get out of there, and like saying that by threatening their daughter. Yeah, I know that was all BS.
Yep.
I'm thinking there's no way that was like that had to be made for the movie. There's no way.
Jeremy here's his view on the film. It was an excellent film, and accuracies aside, it was excellent. The entire series is excellent.
It is. I love the second film as well, and third one isn't half bad.
I mean, the Nun sucks. I'm sorry, it really does.
I like Insidious.
Although
Insidious is awesome.
Well, I will say this: I did like again with the Nun. I like how they did make that connection to the main Conjuring series, like near the end of the film.
Yeah,
that I actually did. I mean, I wasn't crazy about it either.
It was nothing but jump scares.
No, it wasn't meant. I wasn't scared of it. That shocked me. Like that made total sense. Like how it was connected.
Yeah. They just did nothing but like try to do jump scares, and it was not accurate at all because I didn't jump. Well, you know what I mean? It was
a few of these jump scares were fairly well timed. I had a suspenseful buildup at some points, like especially when what was it? Carolyn was trapped downstairs and like the ghost appeared.
Oh no, they did it great in The Conjuring, but with the Nun series, no.
Oh no, with the nun, yeah, like some of the jump
That
scares.
was like The Exorcist 2. It was about as scary as that.
Oh,
You
no.
know,
Exorcist 2 is way worse than anything in the Conjuring universe.
Oh,
Way
let me
worse.
have dreams where I'm flying and you know.
Well, you're flying in this, that's just the deleted scenes of This Is Tom's World that no one gets
No.
to see.
Well, you know, you don't get to, listen. You don't get to see them because I am flying.
Yeah,
And,
this isn't flying. This is falling from the sky.
That's right. I'm gliding. I'm gliding from the sky, like what are those bugs?
You didn't get that reference, did you?
No, I didn't.
Toy Story.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot.
Oh my god.
Family Guy reference.
Yeah, I know. Oh, here. Who will see the new? Oh yeah, we're excited to see the new Exorcist movie. We're excited to see that. We're excited to see the new Saw movie, Saw X, or Saw 10, whatever they want to call it.
I'm not really that excited about the new Exorcist movie. I mean, I watched the two previews that they put out, and I'm like, if it had been one chick in it, like instead of the two little girls, then I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they have two girls in there, like, I've known you before. Do you want Reagan? Reagan? Are you looking for Reagan? Like,
yeah. Oh, hey, Nick, look at this. There.
You got a friend.
That's my all-time favorite episode of the Twilight Zone. Classic. Oh, here.
My son wants to see that one with me.
I want to see that. The new Insidious. I need to see
that one old episode on the Twilight Zone where the one guy was like in the town all by himself. That was the same town that they filmed the Gremlins and all that.
Oh yeah. Oh here. Sarah's saying
Back to the Future.
Sarah's saying Saw X is going to hit deep since it really seems like they're torturing medical staff. Yeah, crooked medical staff because they promised John Kramer that they were going to remove his tumor, but he only finds out they did absolutely nothing but basically con him out of his money by.
Isn't he dead by then?
No. This is a prequel to Saw 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, we did, Jeremy. We did mention about it.
Yeah, he did mention.
But in real time, he is dead now, right?
Yes.
I was going to say he is dead. Yeah.
Because in the last one, I think he was dead and somebody else took it over.
Right.
Yeah, of course. No, he's dead. So.
Yeah, maybe we should cover the first Saw movie.
I want to play a game.
You may want to wait actually till next year, Don, to do that because next year will be the film's Saw's 20th anniversrsary.
Jesus
well, not entirely. If you count the short film, the
short
film came out.
There's a short film.
Yeah, there was a short film which they had made the year before. So before they expanded it into a full feature film, I did a reaction video on it a little bit ago.
I never even knew about that there was a short film. I only knew about the official franchise.
I want to play a 20-year-old game.
What were you saying, Don?
But yeah, same director and then the same actor was in it who played Adam. He was in it. So he played basically was in place of where Amanda was, that bear trap, that game. So, yeah, they depicted that they made it all into a short film. It was about, I want to say, it was about 10 minutes, but
how the hell did I miss that?
I don't know.
I honestly really had no clue that this even existed because
you got me as to why you haven't heard of it. But
I cannot think for the life of me.
But yeah, it is available on YouTube, so those of you who want to check it out, it's worth seeing. Yeah.
You know what else is available on YouTube? This is Tom's World.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm sorry.
You have to say that. That's a requirement.
Right? This is Tom's World. No punctuation, no spaces, no.
Jigsaw is back with a vengeance. Yes, he is, for sure. Oh man! And so, what do you guys think about the design of Bathsheba? She was really, oh my god, really disturbing looking in this movie.
Yeah,
I watched though.
I definitely love the first movie of this, The Conjuring. It was definitely good. The second one, where they focus more on the original story over in England or whatever. I think they did that whole story a disservice, really.
Well, here's the thing with Enfield, that too is also inaccurate because for the most part, again, since I covered the true story on my show, the wards really didn't have very much to do with Enfield.
No.
They just came like the Enfield poltergeist. Yeah, they just came like basically briefly just to visit for a few days, and then they were gone. I don't even think they even did an investigation or anything like that.
Not
if
really,
anything,
no.
it was trying to remember who that other investigator's name was. He was the one that really did most of the work. He passed away over 15 years ago. Damn it, what was his name?
Ed McMahon.
Oh, no, it's
Hi-oh.
Where we reach for the stars and you grab
it. No, it's like really nagging at me now. I cannot even think of the guys. Maurice Gross. That's who it was. Maurice Gross.
Nice.
He did most of it. He really, up until his death, he was the one who really talked about the true case of Enfield. The Warrens, there was like rarely, if ever, any interviews at all with the Warrens that talked about Enfield.
and he had a lot of like videos that you can still find on YouTube today.
Well, Maurice Gross.
A little girl just sitting there with her raspy voice like,
yeah, I showed that on my show. So, and Maurice Gross, not only is there that documentary film that was made in the early 70s, late 70s, excuse me. There's also a tape recorder that he kept, and he often usually played this on multiple occasions of the ever-changing voices that the youngest daughter was supposedly speaking.
Supposedly is the key word there.
Yes.
I'm going to start having a drinking game when someone self-promotes. There you go, Tom. Now you got to.
Well, you know what? Listen, if I'm going to be on the show, then you're going to be drunk by the end of the show. I'm just saying.
Subscribe to Don Elmy's channel. Watch more FearFans podcast. Stay tuned.
That's right.
Stay tuned for the PlayStation 5 live stream on Mondays and Thursdays.
We wouldn't make it to an hour.
Make sure you tune in once a week to This Is Tom's World, because I tried to do a post once a week, or I go live. So like you could subscribe to the channel at This Is Tom's World and make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you'll be sure to be notified as soon as I upload videos, or if I intend to go live, which does happen like once a week.
Clark, you may want to change that to 21 and over, because there's going to be people now drinking. So may want to switch that. Not 18 and over.
Oh,
Make
I can't.
21
Mine's gone.
plus.
So I'm done drinking for now. Well, until the end of this broadcast, until I get more beer downstairs. But
oh man.
Clark. Yeah, no, that would be a great drinking game. Every time somebody says This Is Tom's World, take a drink. People will be drunk by the end of the podcast.
That's why I'm saying you better switch it. Yep, there you go. See, he switched it to 21 and over. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, guys. If you guys haven't seen this, what Jeremy just wrote, he's self-promote, trying to win Face of Horror 2023. I already voted. Don, have you?
Well, listen, Jeremy is pretty scary. Jeremy is pretty scary looking. I'm just saying. No, I love you, man. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I know. Do you realize, by the way, I got to say this for Jill. Do you realize that it's now been over almost a year since we did that live stream? We saw Jeremy's head being completely shaved. Well, I wasn't there for the initial shave, but I think you were there for that one.
Yeah, I was with him. Yeah. Wasn't it in October or something like that? Yeah,
it was like October, I think.
Yeah. It's been almost a year since we had Jeremy on. We had to cover Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which we did right before his surgery. I did that for him.
Sarah, that is definitely not going to happen. I am not over. No, September 9th.
And I've been growing my hair for over a year now. And here we have it.
Yeah. There you go.
Tom, Jeremy was responding back to what you said. He is scary looking. That's why he's trying to win.
Oh, here. I wanted to bring
look, I look like Norman Reedus, so I think I beat you.
Yeah, Norman Reedus. Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Daryl Dixon's coming out soon.
Well, I look like everybody says I look like. Hey, everybody says I look like David Boreanaz.
Angel.
Yeah, I'm Angel.
Herbal essence.
Yeah, Clark. Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, he's
what
welcome
I
to come.
use.
I want to say Jeremy is welcome to come on here anytime. Yeah, I would love to have you back on here, Jeremy.
Listen, come on right now.
Yeah, come on now if you want.
Supernatural.
Yeah, he can come on whenever he wants.
I gotta say this.
Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear now, Eileen.
I gotta say this right now when because you know what, I got a better joke for this, for what Sarah said. Overdue for me shaving my hair. I would rather put duct tape on my hair before anybody could cut it.
Hang on.
Hey, look, my hair is longer than
No,
yours.
Gorilla
now.
Glue.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue.
Glue.
No, better yet,
Hair gel.
No, you combine Gorilla Glue and duct tape. It'll never come off ever.
There you go, Nick. I got it for you.
Yeah.
Listen, don't make her bring out the duct tape.
Yeah. Well, you had 6 people on here before, Jeremy, so it's not entirely
There's 5 of us.
Yeah. We
Do
have
not use Gorilla Glue. I know.
No. Okay, enough Gorilla Glue.
Hang on.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I still
wait.
You know what? Sometimes I still tell people you should do that. Then you can sue the hell out of them for it.
Okay.
It doesn't say on the disclaimer you can't use it.
Yeah. Hey Nick. Wanted to ask you. I just thought back to this character in the movie called named Cindy. There was like one of the issues with the character who was like who is sleepwalking, and isn't there what is with that? Like they're saying you can't wake a sleepwalker, or like what is that? What happens then?
They say that you're gonna die. They'll die in their dream.
Oh, so Freddy Krueger's taking control of them, like in Nightmare 3. Okay.
I don't know.
Number
Maybe it has
3.
to do with like a heart attack or something.
I'm sorry, you mentioned number 3.
Yeah, I think it's hot.
That is the best Nightmare on Elm Street ever. Dream Warriors, come on.
Oh yeah,
that is the mecca of the dream of Nightmare on Elm Street.
I mean, I love the first one a little bit more, but I will say this: Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is so much better than the sequel. Other sequels.
Well, I'll tell you what. Number 2 is the worst.
Yeah,
it is the absolute worst.
Wait, which one?
Number 2, like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, where he comes out of Jesse's body. You got the body, I got the brains. The bullshit. That movie sucked.
Yeah, they intended to like give it a homoerotic sort of a theme to it.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. I mean,
but Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, that was the mecca.
Oh yeah, well, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was just decent for what it was at its time, but Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is the best sequel out of all of them, no doubt.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Sleepwalkers beat you up in your sleep as well. Oops, sorry.
I'm around my street. Nice. Some sequels are the worst, yes, such as Amityville Horror sequels. A lot of them are terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Except the one with Ryan Reynolds. That was
yeah.
bad.
That's not
established that.
Well, that's not a sequel. It's a remake. But
well, yeah.
The Howling had all kinds of terrible sequels, like we've said before on this show. Yeah. So let's see. Some of the Friday the 13th sequels are decent, but it has like a few bad ones.
Well, like 3. Was that 3 or 2? 2 or 3?
Friday the 13th. Yeah, it had some bad sequels.
Yeah. Well, and Halloween, the one without Michael Myers.
Oh, Season of the Witch.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Count.
Yeah,
that was a totally different movie. It had nothing to do with the franchise.
I hated 5 and 6. Halloween 5 and 6.
Well, don't forget too. I mean,
happy Halloween, Halloween.
Well, you have to remember too. By the way, like when they did. I mean, and I know we probably
exactly.
God. Happy Halloween, 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 happy Halloween.
Like, yeah, no.
God. We need to rewrite.
Man, you guys are killing me, damn it.
Now Sarah's saying we need to rewrite the scripts of the bad sequels.
That actually sounded more like Gizmo from Gremlins.
Yeah. What I was going to say, by the way, if you guys don't remember, I mean, I know we've talked about this. When they did Halloween 3, obviously they were trying to make it a franchise. I mean, excuse me, a anthology series. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, but they were nothing without Michael.
They actually did say, had the third one been a success, they said what would eventually become Halloween 4, they would have changed the theme again because if you kind of look at the first 2 movies, like it was obviously a slasher film, and then when you get to Halloween 3, it was like a mad scientist kind of witchcraft sort of movie. So the fourth one probably would have been a ghost story next.
And what the hell was that one actor's name that was in it? That was in oh Jesus Christ. The one main actor that was in that.
Tom Atkins?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don, you and I have met him.
Yes, we have. Yep, I loved him in let's see, The Fog.
Creep Show.
The Fog, Creep Show. Let's see. He had a bit part in Lethal Weapon.
He was also in the remake, believe it. I know it's not good, but he was in the remake of My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
Oh, just lost Nikki.
Lost Nikki, yeah. Hi, Don. Am I late already? Oh, well, we're down to the last 10 minutes. Yeah. He's trying to do his best Gizmo impression. Okay, Howie Mandel.
Donald Pleasance. Wait, I don't know what Jeremy's trying to say about that.
Donald Pleasance. Oh, yeah. I guess he's saying he likes Donald Pleasance from Halloween. Yeah. Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
And then there were 4.
Yep.
And then there was just us.
Yes, that's right.
And then it's just you and your world.
Yep.
That's right. This is Tom's World, by the way. So go check that out. YouTube.com/This is Tom's World.
You know
now listen, wait, everybody has to take a shot right now because I just said that.
I'm taking
I had a better idea.
shot.
You know what we need to do, by the way, is we gotta make like a banner or something, and then say number of times This is Tom's World's been mentioned, and we put that up. There was actually a show that used to do something like that when they used to say the F word on their show all the time. So we're gonna have to start making that a reality. Anytime Tom mentions it's like, okay, this is how much he's been saying it so far.
Right.
Nick, Don, Nick, Jade, and Tom, are you looking forward to seeing The Nun 2?
Yep.
I'll give it a chance. I mean, I'm not thinking it's going to be anywhere as good as I'm not thinking it's going to be better than the first Nun movie. I'm not sure if it's going to be on par with The Conjuring or its sequels, but
I'm sorry, the first one sucked. I'm just saying.
I'm giving it a chance.
I'm willing to try.
I mean, you're talking to a guy that's like old school horror, you know. I remember like the 80s B movies and stuff like that I've watched my entire life. This one sucked. I'm sorry. Like they tried to put jump scares in there, it didn't make me jump. I'm sorry. Yeah. And that's what most horror movies are anymore. Like they're trying to insert jump scares, and that's their scary movies. No. It's not about that. It's about the long-term story of the movie. Right. You know what I mean? Like like just having that. See, like I bored her by talking about this. Is what happened.
I drink protein
said, you know what? The hell with this.
Yeah. Well, I drink body armor. I'm drinking that more than ever now.
I don't drink any of that stuff.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about what you drink, Nick.
Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just had a thought. It was Tessa Farmiga's character that Maurice Shatner. What? I'm not sure what this is.
I don't know what
when you first said that. I thought you said Maurice Shatner. I was like, what is that? Will Shatner's brother? Or?
Shot her in the arm.
I'm going to try something out here, guys. Hang on. Let's see if this works.
Listen,
oh wait, no, I thought
was shot in the arm.
Oh, whoops! Sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah, you did it wrong.
Yeah, well, I got it though.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, Jeremy, we're gonna have you. I would love to have you back on here again soon. I missed having you on here.
Don, I actually wanted to ask you. Oh, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Have Jeremy on for like Alien or something.
I would love that. Yes.
You know, we need to also have on, because I know Jeremy would come back for this. This was a film that we were talking about, but we still haven't done an episode yet. Because not only would you get Jeremy on for this,
right?
You would also get Greg on, because I remember that they were interested in wanting to do. See, Jeremy has kind of read my mind. A Stephen King tale, which would be undoubtedly Salem's Lot. That's the episode you get both Jeremy and Greg on for that.
Just got the Blu-ray.
All right, Nikki's back. You good, Nikki?
Everything good?
Yep, all good.
All right. Nice. Any Stephen King movie, I'll be there. Okay. Let's see what else I got.
I'm for The Shining, so.
Yeah, I've got The Shining. I've got Carrie.
I haven't done that one yet.
Let's see. I've got
nothing.
Yep, I've got The Shining, I got Carrie, I got The Stand. So
Do you have the sequel though?
the
Or
sequel.
Salem's Lot.
Oh, Return to Salem's Lot? No. Nope, just the original classic.
Oh shit! I forgot to turn on my dad's air conditioner, and it's really hot here.
Oh my
I
god!
should have turned that on like an hour ago, and I totally forgot. And which means mine's not on in my room.
Oh.
So it should be a fun night for me and my COVID.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what Jeremy was asking.
Oh yeah, I haven't been able to find the sequel. I want to see it though. I'm interested.
Oh, very quickly, since I just made this banner, this is just the guess that I've been making about how many times this Tom's World's been mentioned.
20. I don't think it's been 20. I don't think it's been 20. Maybe 4.
You have the Shining sequel. The Shining sequel. I've been watching it on HBO Max. So
Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep. Yes, that's right.
It's not bad.
It's all right. It's pretty good so far. Let's see. The TV miniseries was not on par with the one with the Jack Nicholson one. I mean, it's like I know what Stephen King was trying to do. He was trying to like make a miniseries that's more faithful to the novel, but it just didn't have the same. It just didn't have the same impact as as Stanley Kubrick's film.
Jeremy, that's where I got the idea from. I remember when they did that. Yeah. Well, and you also have, you have to. Well, what I will give one positive thing about the TV miniseries of The Shining is that, unlike the film, I mean, everybody in the original film did great, but with the TV series, they shot it at the actual Stanley Hotel.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So pretty soon we're gonna have to cover The Shining. Yeah, I would love to
tell you, man.
And Jeremy, we would love to have you on for that. So. Name a week where you're available.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Did you see on Evil Dead Rise that they did the Shining elevator scene?
I love it.
Yeah. Listen, on Evil Dead Rise, they had a lot of little Easter eggs.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, was it worthy of being called Evil Dead? I don't know. Listen, speaking as an Evil Dead aficionado, no, I don't think it was. No. Well, I mean, it was a great movie. Don't get me wrong; it was awesome. I loved it. I watched it. I loved it. But listen, as you all know, because I've showed the little clip here, that me and Dom actually interviewed 2 of the women from the original Evil Dead, Betsy Baker and Teresa Tilly. Oh yeah, it was a great time, and I love the original movie, and I love Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. Awesome. And then the whole series of Ash versus the Evil Dead was awesome. Was this movie or the other movie that when they redid it,
2013 one?
Yeah, what was that worthy of being called Evil Dead? No. I'm sorry.
Well, what about the ending, the hidden ending after the credits?
In the 2013 one where Bruce Campbell was there, he's like, groovy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was the best part of the movie. To be honest,
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes, I knew, Billy. I knew about that.
And then in the new one that they made, they had no reference to him outside of little hidden Easter eggs. If you didn't watch the other ones, you wouldn't know.
Well, actually,
like the shotgun and the saw and the chainsaw. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, Tom. Did you know? And Don, I told you about this later after we saw it. Did you know that the that whole entire records when they were using the vinyls and that voice is speaking like when they're playing it, that's actually Bruce Campbell uncredited.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounded like the original recording.
Some way. Yeah, think about it. They had to include him in some way. They described him as oh my god, how do they describe him in the they gave him like a nickname in this case, like they called him something Ash.
It sounded like the original recording from the original movie.
It was, but it was actually Bruce Campbell. I think they slowed down his voice.
It was like Kanda, like all that stuff. Like it sounded like the original recording.
Okay, so here's what. It says along with his voice. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I'm just trying to find. I'm looking up right now. Bruce Campbell.
Hey Nick, we're out of time, man.
Yeah. See, we'll have to talk about it later, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get back to that another time.
We'll talk about it another time then. But
all right.
Very quickly, I just want to give the announcements real quick. Tomorrow, there is no Nick Files. However, there will be on Thursday and Friday. We're actually going to be kind of making this like a crossover with To the Gravenback and the Frighteners, because Jill, this is one that you've actually seen before. I'm going to be doing that special presentation once again on the Great Galveston Hurricane of 1900, because we are getting close to that anniversary, which is the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. It's certainly one you guys want to check out. Again, it's well over 2 hours. It's also actually it's a pretty serious one too. Might be emotional for some people, because it's not only about history, it's a sad story. And for Supernatural Talk on Thursday, Jeremy, I know we're about out of time, but remind me who we have on quickly. But other than that, that's and also I almost forgot. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be a guest once again on Kat Hobson's show. I think it's at 7:00 tomorrow night. What am I? Yeah, we got Greg. Speaking of which, we have Greg on Supernatural, which will not be a 6.5 hour show like last time.
It's a long show.
Yeah, we could talk about that later, Tom. But but yeah, I'll be back.
We're gonna talk about your long
Kat
show
Hobson's
later.
What?
You said we could talk about that later. I said, what? We're going to talk about your long show later?
No.
Oh.
No. I'll be on Paranormal Experience tomorrow night with Kat Hobson, which is a radio show, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely check it out.
For sure. So Jeremy, let me know when you want to join us on do an episode covering something from Stephen King, something from Stephen King, whether it's Salem's Lot or The Shining. Yeah, let me know when you're available for that. We'll set something up. So I'll let you guys know what we're going to be coming for next week. But till then, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. And I'll let you know what we're covering. So have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Night.
Good night, everybody.